Because Christchurch is an evolving city, the most recommended way to understand the effects of the quakes and to get a good idea of the huge changes going on in the city is by taking the Christchurch Rebuild Tour with Redbus.
The Rebuild Tour introduces you to the city, particularly if you haven't been here before, but even if you have, to just reinitiate yourself with things has changed so much.
The coach leaves from the Canterbury Museum. All passengers can enjoy a full informative commentary along the route, reflecting on the city's history and highlighting much of the impact from the earthquakes.
We like to explain obviously the background of the earthquake, starting from the September the 4th event through to February. We'd like to explain geology, about seismic activity, obviously remembering and being careful about the deaths and the injuries, being respectful of that, but also looking at the positives as well, about where we're going and how the city has finally really turned a corner and is starting to rebuild.
There are a few opportunities along the tour to take in the sights and view some of the key iconic buildings that have suffered significant damage by the quakes, as well as view those new symbolic buildings that have been erected around the city.
I usually mention the blueprint because that's kind of been quite slow in the core of the city, but it is really starting to happen. So particularly justice and emergency and the bus exchange. So people can kind of start to see the new city.
The tour gives you a really good overview of the devastation, but focuses on the big anchor projects moving forward. As the city gains momentum, it is constantly evolving and changing.
Every day something different, every day, and we do the tour all the time, and suddenly you look at something and think, gosh, that wasn't there yesterday. It's brilliant.
The tour is really worth taking. You're given clear insight into the rebuilding phase, and it's a brilliant chance to see the city as it is now and become excited about the new direction it is taking towards the future.
People usually very positive. Some people are very emotionally moved, and you don't know their stories. They might have some personal connection, because we do have a lot of locals on board, not so many now, but the tourists and overseas visitors particularly are interested to know where we were and how we're going forward.
The Rebuild Tour leaves daily. It's very affordable and a great way to give you a head start before you head off on your own venture around the city.